I woke up this morning to see that Raja Jackson, which for all you that should probably already know this, but if you don't, that's Rampage Jackson's son. I saw that he had a bad incident last night at a professional wrestling match, okay? Like WWE type of wrestling, guys. So, I've been seeing a lot of different opinions on this scenario. In this video, I'm going to be going over what happened, the evidence to what happened, and I'm going to give my opinion on everything that happened. I have a couple of videos to go with it. I have some evidence from Rampage Jackson, things that he said, and I just have everything to go with it. I see a lot of guys on YouTube, they're leaving a lot of shit out, and it's kind of pissing me off. Like, I'm not going to call anybody out, but there's a lot of guys that are leaving shit out that are making him seem way worse than he already looks, and just not giving the full story. If you're gonna give your opinion on something, you gotta know the full story. And I've seen a lot of guys that don't know the full story. They have false information, and it's a bunch of bullshit, okay? So, in this video, I'm gonna be giving the full story, the full information, and yeah, okay? So I'm gonna give a rundown real quick, and then I'm going to give you the evidence to what I have, okay? So, Rampage Jackson's son, Raja Jackson, he went to a professional wrestling match because his friend invited him, okay? He trains with him. He had a professional wrestling match, so he wanted to go support him, you know what I mean? Days before he went, he was sparring, and he had a very bad concussion. I have evidence to show that he had a bad concussion. Rampage was talking about it. And he had it to the point where he was throwing up, stuff like that, okay? He had a very bad headache, obviously. It was bad. If you're throwing up from stuff when you have a concussion, it's a bad concussion, okay? So, he wanted to record it because he just wanted to support his friend, okay? So, he got there. He was waiting on his friend to come to the door. His friend finally came in with him. He was walking through. He was kind of making fun of him. He was joking around a little bit about how he looked like a male stripper because, you know, wrestling, professional wrestling, like, uniforms or outfits that they wear look kind of funny. Like, some of them, not all of them, but some of them. His were, like, kind of like a Randy Orton type, or, like, right up there. They're literally like a bodybuilder. What's the word I can use? You know what I mean. I'm not going to go into it. Anyway, so he was wearing that. He was making fun of him, joking around with him a lot. He followed him to the back so he could meet all the wrestlers, all the guys he likes. He was just going there to support him. You know, he went to the back. He met all the wrestlers. He shook all their hands, saying he's a big fan of all of them. He messed around with a couple of them. You know, he was just joking around. He's a good guy, just being very calm. He's not really a big, aggressive dude most of the time. I mean, there has been things we've heard from Rampage, but, like, in public, he usually is a very calm dude, very chill guy. And then Syko Stu came up, okay? That's the wrestler's name, well, character name. His real name is Stuart Smith. He came up, and he was kind of, like, sticking his chest out a little bit, kind of just saying, like, just staring at Raja. And Raja kind of, he had to push him off in the beginning. And then he looked at him, and he was just talking about all his favorite fighters. And then he was like, you shouldn't be concerned about him. You should be concerned about Syko Stu. And he's like, do you know who that is? And Raja's like, nah. Hell no, I don't know who that is. I have no clue. And then Syko Stu went ahead and grabbed a beer can and smashed it over his head. Okay. Everybody keeps playing the narrative that this was scripted beforehand. I'm so sick of this fake information. This was not scripted. This was not planned. Raja was not going in there thinking and knowing that he's going to get smashed over the head with a beer can, okay? He went there to support his friend. He was not part of the role play. He went there to watch his friend, to go meet his favorite wrestlers, and then he got hit over the head with a beer can. Any man that's a real man would get pissed at that and want to fight right away. You know what I mean? He didn't, though. He was just, like, threatening him, saying, yeah, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. The wrestlers got in the way, kind of, like, pushed him away, saying, don't do that. And then Syko Stu was like, oh, like, Syko Stu thought it was a role play thing. He thought that he was part of the role play, and he thought he saw cameras and everything, obviously recording Raja. So he's like, okay, let's make something out of this. Okay, and he even said, like, you're not going to play along. Okay. This is, like, that's a big excuse, in my opinion, to this incident. Everybody keeps saying, like, okay, the dude, it was a mistake. Obviously, at the end of the day, all this was a misunderstanding, okay? But if no one told Syko Stu that he was part of the role play, why the fuck would you think you should just go smash the guys over the head with a beer can? Like, logically, why would you think that? Like, be realistic here. Why in the fuck would you think that? That makes zero sense to me. Raja obviously would get pissed. Now, let me play a scenario out to you guys. You guys are being very one-sided, a lot of you. Let me play a scenario out to you guys. You're going to support your friend, okay, at a wrestling match. You go meet all the wrestlers, and all of a sudden, this random guy comes up to you, kind of like is talking shit to you, and smacks you over the head with a beer can. What are you guys going to do? Put yourself in his shoes for a second. A lot of you would throw hands right then and there. But you see where I'm coming from. Now, I'm not justifying anything. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm never going to justify what he did. But you get what I'm coming from, though. You would get mad. And you shouldn't be a professional wrestler. First of all, I know he was an Army veteran. He had a lot of PTSD. And I know he was drunk at the time, too. So a couple things. Why are you wrestling when you're drunk? You shouldn't be doing anything like professionally drunk. That's one issue right there. And it just makes no sense why everybody is just using that as an excuse. That he was an Army veteran, okay? That doesn't make it right what he did, obviously. You gotta point everybody's mistakes out in the situation, you know what I mean? You can't just point your fingers at one guy, right? So anyway, what would you guys do if that happened to you? Answer that question and then look at it at a different point of view, okay? But anyway, so Raja was like, they shook each other's hands. Raja seemed fine, you know? And then the guy said, that's when they made the role play, guys. That is when, right after that happened, then they were like, okay, you know what? You can get your get back in the ring. Go ahead and get your get back in the ring. Okay? They literally said that. So, that makes most sense. Obviously, he's gonna go ahead and get his get back in the ring. And they were making it seem like, okay, it's gonna be fake, you know? Like, you're gonna go in there, slam him maybe a little bit, just act like, you know, you're mad, okay? And they were probably gonna keep that part of him smashing him over the head with a beer in there to make it look like kind of like an interesting little story. But Raja had something else planned, okay? He obviously still was pissed off about it. Who wouldn't be real now? That's a bad mistake. That's not a good mistake. So then, yeah, he went ahead, sat in the front row, did what he did, you know. All I gotta say is everybody comes to a breaking point. I've seen a lot of interviews and podcasts where Raja's always getting picked at, you know. He's a young professional fighter, always getting picked at. Good professional fighter, too. Chill guy, but everybody has their breaking point. At the end of the day, you gotta be realistic here. Everybody has their breaking point. You can't expect, I'm not saying it's right, but you can't expect stuff not to happen when you keep picking on someone, you know? And I know he wasn't, I know that he might have thought it was role play, but that's still something you don't fuck around with, you know? And I wouldn't find that funny if I was Raja. So that's a quick rundown of what happened. I'm gonna go over these videos to show you guys everything like that, and then I'll talk after them, okay? So let's just get into the first video of the night.
Going to fucking paintballing with AJ, but my head was fucked up. I was throwing up and shit.
So first little small clip of that, okay? So he said his head was fucked up. He was throwing up. That's proof that, you know, he had a very bad concussion. Another thing that adds on to that, I forgot to add that part in, smacking him over the head with a beer can, bro, was a concussion. Severe concussion. He was throwing up and stuff. That probably hurt real bad, probably pissed him off even more than he normally would be pissed off. So that proves, you know, he was throwing up and stuff. This was beforehand, before the incident happened. So that probably didn't help at all, you know what I mean, with getting smacked over the head. Next clip.
You know, my coach, my lifting coach and shit, one of my teammates, Andre, who was on the stream the last time, is having a pro wrestling show, and I told him I will come and support, and then I wanted to bring you guys with me, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. So that's proof again that he was going, obviously the dude didn't know that he was going to be smacked over the head. He was going to support his friend in the wrestling match. So he was going to not be involved. He didn't know he was going to be involved. And he also wouldn't have reacted the way he did. If you guys actually ever watch professional wrestling, like WWE or stuff, in the back, if stuff happens like that's scripted, let's say the guy smacked him over the head with a beer can. Raja, if he was acting, would have been like, you know, what the, like, he would have, like, flew back. And he also wouldn't have gotten pissed like that, guys. You know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't have got pissed the way he did. Like, he actually threatened him. He wasn't prepared for that. He was prepared to fight right when it happened. So, for people saying it was scripted beforehand, that's fake news. Don't listen to anybody that's saying that. And if you're saying that, you're wrong. The way he reacted, he was not scripted. He went there to support his friend. He wanted to throw down right there. You could tell he was like, I'm going to kick your ass. That's how it is. You know what I mean? For the next video. This is him when he got inside. Kind of showing the vibe he was bringing. You know, he was joking around a lot. He was in a good mood, you know?
This nigga looks... This looks like a zesty cowboy. You need to change your outfit, bro. I didn't come all the way from where I was fucking an hour and 20 minutes to look at you in these tights, bro.
You're a fucking asshole.
I'm just saying, bro.
Hey, can I mention it in the Eric Page's son?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Look at this shit. Look what this nigga. He look like he's.
Did you get your daily dose of ass yet?
Excuse me, bro. Excuse me.
What's a black man's idea of foreplay?
Is his name?
Oh.
What's up, big host?
Nice to meet you, brother.
You too, man. Come on.
Yes,
I
sir.
know you get in this.
Oh, no. I do it for fun, huh? As presidente, I fucking hate you. I hate this dude. Worth. Nice to meet you, bro. Nah, you're my favorite wrestler here. Fuck him. You're the coolest. Yeah. He's the coolest. Yeah.
Prez whooping my ass.
Yeah, I remember that. You're my favorite wrestler because of that.
Okay. I'm going to say this. He seemed very funny, you know. He was joking around with the wrestlers, you know. His friend, he was like, fuck him. He's not my favorite wrestler. You're my favorite wrestler. He was joking around. He had a good attitude back there, you know. He was just there to have fun and support these guys. And then you see Syko Stu walk up, and you already know that there's going to be problems because he's just looking at him like this, you know. I mean, obviously, he might have seen the situation differently. Okay, there's a camera. I got to make something out of this. But if you're not told beforehand you got to make something out of this, why in the fuck would you think you got to make something out of it? It's nothing, obviously. Obviously, Raja's famous. He's going to have a camera with him because he wants to record stuff on public. So you think, okay, I'm going to go ahead and smash a beer over his head. Okay? This next clip is of Syko Stu smashing a beer over his head, okay?
What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a...
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why he would do that. Obviously, the dude had a couple before this. But that was dumb. That was stupid. I don't know why he did that, but misunderstanding, bad misunderstanding for Syko Stu. He smashed a beer can over his head. That makes a lot of sense. I don't know why he did that. I'm kind of like in shock. I don't really know why he did that, but he did it, so don't know. This next video is going to be of them kind of afterwards explaining like, okay, this is going to be what we're going to do now. We're going to go ahead and make this a role play thing, okay?
So I understand where you're coming from. I'm a little hot right now, so
You know what's the good thing about this? Now I can make it something. I'm gonna have you run in and fuck that motherfucker up in the mat. You ready for that?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Talk to the president.
Yeah, if you can do that for me, I'll be cool.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yo,
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna have him run in on your shit in your match. To fucking seal that.
Okay. See, they literally said you're going to go in there and you can get your get back. You can get your payback. So it wasn't planned. This is proof it wasn't planned. This shit was not planned. They eventually said afterwards, okay, you can now go get your payback. We can make this a story, you know? But Raja didn't see it as a story. He sees the shit as respect. You need to respect him. You're not going to do that shit, especially when he wasn't prepared for it, you know? I obviously, for all you saying that this was a thing that was going to go on before he got there, this is proof that it wasn't planned. He just did it because he saw a camera. That's a nice excuse, you know? But the next video is going to be of Raja doing what the thing he did, just manhandling him, sadly. But if you guys don't want to watch this part, I understand, but it is a little brutal, so let's watch this. Yeah, that was that. Very scary, you know. At the end of the day, like I said, everybody has a breaking point. That does not justify this. You got to know when to stop. At the end of the day, Raja, he obviously had a breaking point. Didn't know how to stop. That's obviously, if he would have slammed him, hit a couple times, that's a little more reasonable. But obviously, he hit him like 20 times, and he's unconscious. That's not right at all, and I'm not condoning this. That was not a good situation. It's a sad situation, you know, for both guys, you know. One was hospitalized, one might spend time in jail, you know. I just don't like people that are siding with one guy. You can't really side with one guy. Both guys had their faults in the incident, you know. One might be a little more brutal than the other one. Raja definitely shouldn't have hit him as many times as he did. Not right at all, but also people have a breaking point where stuff happens if you keep picking on someone, you know. I know people aren't going to agree with the way I say that, but they both have their faults in the situation, so you can't be dissing on just Raja or Syko Stu. Stuff happens, you know. It's really a very forceful thing to happen, but if things happen, you just gotta pray for both of them, you know. We gotta stop antagonizing people nowadays, you know. Things happen, brutal things happen to people. We gotta just be friendly, bro. And if you're uncertain of what you're supposed to do, don't do it. Syko Stu. Well, I don't understand why he'd smack him over the head with a beer can, but I also don't like to hate on Raja Jackson either. We gotta stop that. Stop so much hate, guys. He doesn't deserve the hate he's getting. Put yourself in his shoes. I know not everyone would go as hard as he did and as long as he did. That's not right at all, and that was wrong. But the fighting part, you gotta put yourself in his shoes, you know. This last clip is of him walking out of the arena talking about stuff. Let's listen to this.
Tired of motherfuckers playing with me, bro. Real shit. One of them a bitch and fucking bit me. I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me and shit. Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. Not no fucking bitch, bro. At the end of the day, I'm gonna stand up for my fucking self. Because I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me, bro. Real shit.
You just hear the pain in his voice, you know? I mean, obviously the dude's been shit on for a while. Calling a guy a bitch is automatically fighting words, you know what I mean? I'm surprised he didn't handle it there. But yeah, he did go a little too far, but I see where he's coming from with getting assaulted, getting called a bitch and stuff like that. You know, you can't be getting called that without stuff happening to you, you know. Poor Raja, for obviously he's been feeling hurt, you know what I mean? He needs to stand up for himself. It's all about respect in this world, you know. You got to stand up for yourself. If someone's calling you shit, you know. Maybe not to the extreme he did, but I see where he's coming from. He needs to stand up for himself. Who wouldn't stand up for themselves? If you don't, you are considered a bitch by many people, you know what I mean? But I have evidence that shows what Rampage Jackson was talking about with everything with his concussion to how Syko Stu is doing. So let's read that right now. Okay. I want to clear up the misinformation about my son Raja. I've been confirmed that the wrestler Stuart Smith, aka Syko Stu, is awake and stable. Raja was unexpectedly hit in the side of the head by him moments before Smith's match. Raja was told that he could get his quote-unquote payback in the ring. I thought it was part of the show. It was bad judgment and a work that went wrong. Raja is an MMA fighter, not a pro wrestler. and had no business involved in an event like this. Obviously, it's fake next to real. It doesn't mix well. I don't condone my son's actions at all, but he suffered a concussion from sparring only days ago and had no business doing anything remotely close to physical contact. As a father, I'm deeply concerned with his health and the well-being of Mr. Smith. That being said, I'm very upset that any of this happened, but my main concern now is that Mr. Smith will make a speedy recovery. I apologize on his behalf and to kick for the situation. Rampage shows his condolences, you know. No shit on Rampage either, you know. I like saying he's condoning this. I see a lot of guys saying that he's condoning this. Shut the fuck up. Shut your damn mouth. Rampage is not condoning any of this shit. He literally apologized for Raja. Shut the hell up if you're saying he's condoning this. He's not. If anything, you got to feel bad for Rampage. He's in a bad situation, really unfortunate situation. It is a very hard situation, but that's that, guys. That's the story. We need more love in this world, guys, you know. Stop hating so much. Don't hate on Rampage. Don't hate on Raja. Don't hate on Syko Stu. None of them deserve the hate. I know he did a very brutal beating, but doesn't mean you gotta go hate on him. He's struggling with enough right now. Syko Stu's struggling with enough. Stop siding with people all the time. I'm not gonna pick a side at the end of the day. I think they both had their wrongs in the situation, and they both stuff happened the way it did, you know. Syko Stu was antagonizing, got done what a lot of people say had it coming because of what he did, but then also it shouldn't have been to the extent that Raja did do that. I will point out though, don't shit on me for this. Raja's strong as shit, guys. I mean, he picked that guy up like nothing, you know what I mean? That's besides the point, but I'm just saying. It's a very unfortunate situation. We gotta just pray for both of them, for all these guys, that everything, speedy recovery, and that everything works out the way it should work out, you know? I don't agree that Raja's career is over. It shouldn't be over this. I know it was really unfortunate the way it happened, but I wouldn't say that his career should be over from this. But I send my prayers out to all you guys, you know? I hope that all this goes by pretty fast, you know what I mean? We gotta stop the hate, though. But thank you guys for watching this video. A very unfortunate situation here. But please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know your guys' opinions on this topic. No hateful comments, guys. Like I just said, we need to stop the hate. Respect me. I'll respect you. Same way with this situation. There needs to be respect in everything in life. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching again. And have a blessed rest of your guys' day.